schedule, beating similar people. Even the coach's pedigree is kind of the same, going from high school to college. Have you noticed that in your early research? And what do you think about that idea of this being, kind of mirror team?
I agree. I mean, I think I agree with what you're saying. I think that when you look at it, I think both teams are, would like to establish the run game and kind of build it from the run. And, I think, Jacksonville State having a more multiple quarterback than we do, obviously, but I mean, but trying to build it from the run, and then basically, I think both teams are built on speed. When you look at it, Jacksonville, I don't know, maybe a tad bigger than us, but I don't think either one of us are, in terms of college football, huge teams.
Yeah.
But we're built around speed, and so we both have similar smaller guys and number 4 return guys that are both fast. And it's funny when you watch them on tape. Their number 4, I mean, is really, I don't know his name, but really good. But we have a number 4 too that's pretty fast that returns. So I mean, there are some similarities there, no question. And I think the main thing, though, is the main similarity is the speed factor.
I got you. Yeah, it's just kind of uncanny how that a lot of it is alike there. And I know you haven't been on the staff there as long as you have been, but do folks there outside remember much that Jack State used to be in your league? And secondarily, maybe discount them from the sense that the McNeese program in the past has never lost to them before?
I really haven't heard anybody mention anything about, the Jacksonville being in the league before. I mean, obviously nobody in the field house, because I was the only one that was here at the time. But I didn't really realize that until Todd said that we were whatever the record was, because I remember some of those games really close. I'm talking about, I remember 2002, we went to Chattanooga. Jacksonville State had us beat here in Lake Charles with Stansel, and I always remember Stansel. I loved him. I thought he was a great player, and I mean, that was a long time ago, and that was 2002, and this is 11 years later. So the teams are different. Everything is different about what's going on now. So I mean, I haven't even looked back to any of that.
And then lastly, what the team that you have now that's in the playoffs this year, was this team built to get to this point this year, or did it kind of develop into becoming a playoff team? Because I guess just between the gaps of playoff years and that kind of stuff.
I think when you haven't been in the playoffs in 3 years, like we haven't, I mean, we were just hoping to I mean, obviously that's the goal, is to win the conference, which we didn't, but try to get to the playoffs. I mean, that's the goal, but we were hoping too to be able to stay healthy enough to possibly do that. And we've been fortunate this year, as opposed to the last couple of years, that, I mean, we have 2 really good football players that are out for the year, a wide receiver and then a defensive back that are, as good of players as we've had. But in the grand scheme of things, we're so much healthier than what we've been in the past 2 years. So we're hoping that can help us out a little bit.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Other questions for Coach Viator? As a reminder, you may need to press *6 to unmute your phone line.
Matt, I'm sorry. It doesn't sound like there's folks getting on this. So this is Al again from Anniston. Last week, Jacks played the Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Week. They're the quarterback that Sanford had. I mean, Player of the Year. He was, he had that honor from Sanford. Your guy is obviously the Southland Offensive Player of the Year. They did a really good job hassling, pressuring this Sanford kid last week. What do you see are the threats to your guy when you look at their defense? And could, obviously you're hoping that doesn't happen, but is there a potential for the same thing to happen with your guy?
Oh, I mean, hopefully, we're going to have to do better. They did a great job, obviously, in pressuring the quarterback, but they did a fantastic job of getting them behind the chains all night. And, Sanford ended up in 2nd and long and 3rd and long the entire night. And, I mean, they have, Jacksonville has so much speed. They can lock you down, man. They can pressure you. And if you get in those situations, and it'll be the same with us. I mean, if we get in those situations all night, it's going to be tough sledding, So we have to do a better job, hopefully, of having some balance and some early downs and having a little bit of success. And because Sanford had no success at all on first down, none. ended up, like I said, ended up in so many 2nd and 10, 2nd and 13s, 3rd and 15s. I mean, it was incredible. And, when that happens, that's, I don't care who you are, quarterback, that's going to be a long night.
And lastly, you talked about the running backs, and I know, James has got all these yards and he's got all these touchdowns. Your 2 lead backs are combined for 2,000 or some yards, but I think, just looking at the numbers, that James, 32 for Jack State, might be more similar to your fullback, Long, I think his name is, where, in being the short yardage gun that he is. I mean, that guy doesn't look like he's got a lot of carries, but he's got a lot of touchdowns. Am I reading the same thing into that?
I really think he's bigger than Wiltz, but, than our leading rusher, but I think they're very similar when you watch them and stuff. Like I said, I mean, James is bigger, obviously, but I mean, the thing that's impressed me about James is like Wiltz has been able to do this year, he can run inside and outside. You think he's just a bigger back that's going to run the ball inside and pound you, but he can bounce it out and run the football in the perimeter. He can catch the ball. He can do things. So I think he's actually more similar to Wiltz in style and the way he runs the ball. I said he's about, at least the way they list him as he's 25 pounds heavier than Marcus. But if you watch the styles, I think they run the football very similar.
Any other questions?
The long boy is your short yardage guy, I would guess, right?
Yeah, we've used him as our 3rd back. He's usually a short yardage back, and he's going to play some in the field too. But yeah, I mean he'll be the 3rd back that we use.
Okay. Anything else for Coach Viator this morning?
Actually,
Coach, go ahead.
Well, this is Brandon Scott at GoBearcats.com. Just quickly, I wanted to ask, what do you make of the Sam Houston Southeastern matchup in the playoffs, and the fact that it's the first time Southland teams are meeting in the playoffs, and just the opportunity that the conference has in this year's playoff field?
Oh, I think it's obviously excited that 3 teams are in it, and I mean, I guess from a selfish standpoint, I wish Southeastern and Sam Houston wouldn't play in the second round, because they're both excellent football teams that I think can go even further than this. So the fact that one of them is going to be out at the end of this week, I guess selfishly that's a little disappointing. But 2 excellent football teams that they can beat you in so many different ways. But it's one of these deals. If we wasn't playing this week, I would love to see the game. Because it's going to be an incredible football game. 2 well coached, 2 teams that can beat you so many different ways. And so, like I said, from a selfish standpoint, I wish they weren't playing, because I think they're 2 excellent football teams, obviously, and one of them will be out. But it is exciting, however, though, to get 3 teams to the second round.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Other questions? Coach, appreciate your time today. Wish you the best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Todd.
This meeting is now being recorded.
Oh, okay. Moving on to Sam Houston State, just a few notes about the Bearkats. They're 9-4 overall. They finished 4-3 and a 3rd place tie in the Southland Conference. They're playing Saturday with a chance at 10 wins for the 3rd consecutive season. The Southland has never had 3 teams with at least 10 wins in the same season. In 7 playoff appearances, the Bearkats are 10-6 overall, including 7-2 the last 3 years. Sam Houston leads the all-time series with Southeastern 10-5, but had a 3-game series win streak snapped this season in November in Hammond. The Lions won 34-21. Sam Houston coming off a 51-20 win over Southern Utah last week at home to improve to 7-0 against the Big Sky in the last 3 years, including a 6-0 mark in the playoffs. That was the Bearkats' 22nd consecutive victory at home. The winner between Sam Houston and Southeastern will face the winner of Maine and New Hampshire. Coach Fritz, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, joined now by Willie Fritz, the head coach of Sam Houston State. Coach, talk a little bit about, obviously you know quite a bit about Southeastern, but talk about the second round matchup against a team that you played earlier in the season.
Well, a very impressive squad. And again, I want to congratulate both Ron and Southeastern and also Matt, for having 3 teams in. It's a tremendous deal for the Southland Conference. As Matt was talking a little while ago about how they can beat you in so many different ways. They're, very, very talented, very well coached, don't make very many mistakes, a disciplined ball club. I've just been impressed with them in all 3 phases. They play their frontline guys in the kicking game, and oftentimes you don't see that. Teams are putting their backups in there, and they can do some big things for you in the kicking game, both with their return units on punt returns and kickoff returns. Do a great job with their coverage teams. And then on their offensively, their quarterback is just makes a lot of really good decisions and can beat you with both his legs and his arm. And they got a lot of fast guys back there, a couple different tailbacks. They play quite a bit in the backfield, and defensively they'll pressure you a lot and not afraid to play man coverage, especially on run downs and pack the box and try to have one more guy at the point of attack than that you're able to block. So I'm just very impressed with our team. There's a great atmosphere. We went down there a few weeks ago, and I think we'll have a great atmosphere there on Saturday as well.
All right, we'll go ahead and open up questions now for Willie Fritz, the head coach of Sam Houston State.
Morning, Coach. This is John Landon down here at the Hammond Daily Star.
Hi, John.
Hey, you guys, maybe bounce back a little bit this past week. What did you see Saturday that maybe hadn't been happening the last 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of the regular season, where you guys had some problems? You kind of turned things around Saturday a little bit, especially with the running game.
Well, we just did a good job of playing assignment sound, particularly offensively and defensively, and got bodies on bodies and threw the ball well. That always helps open up your passing game. I think we're getting some guys a little more healthy, back there in the backfield that are able to, it helps when a guy's able to practice all week and helps the timing of different things. And then defensively, I thought we tackled well. The difference is going to be we're going to be tackling some different dudes this week than we tackled last week. But we tackled very well and did a good job for the most part staying over the top and not having any busts in the secondary. We had some busts the first time we played Southeastern, and I led to some big plays for them.
Well, looking back at the stats on that game, they were, reasonably closer than maybe the score actually looked like if you're just going by the stats. But you guys did lose by 10. What do you take from that Southeastern matchup the first time around that you can build confidence with your team in? I mean, what do you guys tell yourselves about how that game went down that gives you, a better feeling about this matchup this time around?
Well, we had a lot of opportunities. We just didn't capitalize on the opportunities. They were able to shut the door on us when we got in the red zone on a few occasions. I think we had a first and goal from the 4. We got no points out of it. We had a drop touchdown that we thought would have been a momentum changer. But it's a game where they made the plays and we didn't. We got to be more sound defensively. I think it was, I can't remember the exact stat, but my D coordinator was talking about a little while ago. I think there was 8 or 9 plays where they had 270 some yards. And so we obviously, got to make them earn their yards. And that's tough to do against an explosive team, like Southeastern.
So, Brandon Scott at Bearkats.com.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, I wanted to just kind of ask about how much healthier are you guys than you were 3 weeks ago, the status of Brian Bell, and just kind of where you guys are health-wise in comparison to 3 weeks ago when you last played Southeastern.
Oh, we're like we're like everybody at this point in the season. You know, you're getting ready to play, I guess for us, our 14th ball game. So it's just part of it. You know, you just got to, you know, I made sure to tell all our players on Friday night, we're not going to play anybody that's injured or hurt. So you guys suck it up and go at this time of the year. And I thought our guys came out and did a good job of being physical. And I don't think we've been a real physical ball club the 2 weeks preceding that. And so that's just, you know, it's just part of football. You know, everybody's got excuses with guys getting hurt and all that kind of stuff. And it means absolutely nothing. You got to go out and play with the guys that are available. And you got to play well with the guys that are available, plain and simple.
And kind of staying with that same point of guys just playing through it. What can you say about Brian Bell and just the season he's had and the way it could have ended and the way it's turned out? What can you just say about your senior quarterback?
Well, he's you know, he's not a real big kid, but he's very, very tough, and he's you know, we're probably running an offense that he's been in the last 4 years. It's not really tailored to a guy like him. He's probably better suited with an offense that is going to throw the ball, you know, 40, 50 times a ball game. He's done a phenomenal job for us. He's a winner, guy we trust, and you know, the quarterback position is, you know, highly scrutinized and handles the ball every single play. And you know, 99% of the time he makes great decisions for us. So we're just very happy with Brian, the way the career he's had here at Sam Houston.
Thanks.
Other questions for Coach Fritz?
Yeah, Coach, this is John Lenz. I just wanted to follow up on one thing. You, having been through this playoff thing several times before, the idea of having that first-round bye, obviously there's benefit to that, especially if you're kind of gimping around a little bit, you get healthy. Has it worked, you know, how has it worked for you guys? Do you lose an edge not playing that week? You know, do you have any feeling on coming off a bye and what issues you run into?
You know, I don't really know, John. I'm not sure. You know, everybody's a little bit different. Probably the last 2 years we played our worst ball game after the bye week. Our closest ball game up until the national championship game. So I don't know. I think it's all how you prepare and how your kids come out and play that particular day, whether you played the week before or you didn't. I've heard pros and cons both ways. So we'll just have to see Saturday.
Yeah, it hadn't been an issue for you in this playoff situation. We have that first round bye, though.
Oh no, I mean, you know, you can use it to your advantage. You get healthy. You know, I don't know. You know, it just you know, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And you know, we've taken some time off in the past. You know, we practiced on Wednesday morning and we took Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday off, you know, to get healthy and you know, so you know, I'm just not sure. I think, you know, it all depends on, you know, how the team comes out and plays on Saturday. The majority of the time, the better team wins on Saturday. You know, that's my experience with it.
Thanks, Coach.
You betcha.
Anything else for Coach Fritz today?
Hey, Coach Fritz, this is Robbie Arman with the Advocate in Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm making it today. I had a for you regarding Brian Bell. Last time you guys played, obviously he was injured. So last kind of image, I guess, Southeastern fans have is him not playing for you guys. What was the nature of the injury? And obviously he's been able to come back and just kind of explain how big that's been for you guys to have him back in the fold right now.
Well, he played most of the game. He got hurt in the fourth quarter, and I don't know how much time was left, but midway through the fourth quarter. Hurt his shoulder. You know, we thought it was a lot more serious at first. And then that next week did not play the whole week. We did not plan on playing him at all. That ball game against Central Arkansas, he's just going to hold, and got behind early, and he felt pretty good. You know, so we went ahead and threw him in there, and you know, and he's been, you know, back, you know, to being a regular quarterback that we know Brian from. So that's kind of the injury situation with him.
If you could just kind of elaborate on some of the challenges that you guys faced going against that Southeastern defense. Obviously, gave you guys some problems in that second half in that first game.
There's a lot of problems. Big front, big linebackers that can also run. You don't see that very much at our level. Normally, the guys that can run are a little smaller, or if they're big guys, they don't have the great change of direction. But these guys are able to do that. Very talented in the secondary. They're able to play man with you, mix it up, play some zone. They play a lot of guys. That's another thing I think that Ron's done a very good job of, is he's not been afraid to play a lot of guys offensively and defensively. So they're able to roll guys, keep them fresh, and it's developed a heck of a lot of depth for them, which is very important in the playoffs. So he's very talented and able to play man coverage and zone coverage. A lot of teams are one, and they're able to do both.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
You betcha. Thank you.
Anything else for Coach Fritz? Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Southeastern Louisiana. A few notes about them. The Lions 10-2 overall, claimed the first Southland Conference championship with a perfect 7-0 record. The Lions are making their first appearance in the FCS playoffs. They joined the Southland in 2005. The championship was the first at Southeastern since the 1961 Gulf States Conference Championship. Southeastern features the Conference Player of the Year in quarterback Brian Bennett, Defensive Player of the Year in linebacker Quillen Hubert, and led by second-year head coach Ron Roberts, who was the Coach of the Year this year. Lions are 15-8 under Roberts, and 12-2 in the Southland Conference. Lions trailed the series with Sam Houston State 5-10, but snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 34-21 victory earlier in the season. Coach, Roberts, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. Ron, if you would, just maybe talk about winning the conference championship, the individual accolades that your team collected last Tuesday, and then what you're expecting in this second meeting of the season with Sam Houston.
Well, winning the conference, obviously, everybody's very excited around here. I think it's big for our program, it's big for our community, it's big for our fan base, our student bodies, big for our university. So we're very excited about that. Everything's really on a very positive atmosphere. The emotions around the community, everybody's real excited about the first playoff game at home. It's a great opportunity as well. So things are looking really good, and we're very excited about everything that's taking place. And obviously, when you win games and take your business on the field and you win championships, kids are going to get rewarded for it, and they're going to get awards. And I'm proud for our guys that got recognized as being great players. But I think I know all of them would give up those awards to make sure to get a conference championship, and I think that's what put them in the situation they're in. I think our guys, some of them have played outstanding. You can't deny what Brian's been able to do this year. He's a great player. He was a great player. We've got a lot of really good football players to make our job a lot easier. And we're just looking forward to now. There's a second season, and you got to get ready for a great football team. I don't think anything matters if we beat them before or not. That doesn't make a difference now. You're in playoffs, and everybody's starting with a new slate and second season. And one thing we do know is Sam's been here and done that. The last time going to a game, one of probably the biggest advantages I thought they had going on us was they've been in big games, they've been in huge football games, and performed very well in them. Going the last two national championships, and they've done well in the FBS games. They've been in big environments and performed. They're a very good football team. They're as good as anybody in the country. I mean, when you watch tape and stuff, and they're as good as anybody in the country. And we got to really be prepared to play a different team coming in here. I think they're going to come in here, probably with a chip on their shoulder, and these guys know obviously how to turn it up when they get in the playoffs. You can see that on the game film from last week. They're great players. Brian Bell,
you can't, you know, Brian Bell and Flanders is a good running back in the country, and it's FCS for sure. And Bell's a completely different. He's just a competitive kid that knows how to win football games. You know, and again, they're you know, they got more of them. You know, you talk about Sincere and the other kid, a wide receiver. I mean, they got some talented weapons, and it's a really good football team. That, you know, Coach has done an excellent job over there, and building a program that's a top tier program in the country in FCS football. I think you're gonna see two teams going at it Saturday in the playoffs. It's gonna be a great, I think, playoff atmosphere. We've had a great atmosphere at Strawberry Stadium in the last several home games. I think we'll have a great atmosphere. I think you see two teams slugging it out. Tied to, you know, better teams in the country. I think any team can compete with anybody that's out there. And it's going to be a great football game. It's going to be a great environment. It's going to be great for college football. We're excited to be here right now, and we're looking forward to playing, you know, against such a quality opponent. But our guys are going to have to play well. And we're going to have to play our best football. But that's what you got to do in the playoffs, no matter who your opponent is. You got to play your best football right now because, you know, it's win or go home. So we're looking forward to it, and it's going to be a great football game.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions now for Ron Roberts, the head coach of Southeastern Louisiana. Media, you may need to press *6 to unmute your phone line, and we do ask that you identify yourself by name and media organization prior to asking a question.
Coach Gene Schallenberg with the Huntsville Item. What have you done this for the past week and a half just to kind of keep your team fresh since your finale on the 21st?
Yeah, well, you know, it's been a long time because we played a Thursday night game, so we didn't go play last weekend, the weekend before, and we didn't play this weekend, so we've been off for a while. You know, there's pluses and minuses of that. One of the things, our guys are really fresh, probably, you know, legs, some guys, dings and stuff, you get healed up. Spend a little more time in the weight room. You know, plus the minuses, you know, you're off, and we got to come out and click it on all cylinders to start with. This is not a team that you can come out and be a slow start on again. You know, so I think we're fresh. I expect us to play very well. I know our team's very excited, obviously, for the matchup again with Sam Houston. They know obviously all the things that Sam has done in the past, and they're a great football team. You know, I think you got to really thrive on those opportunities to play the best, and you know, you got to throw that last W out. It's out the window. It don't matter. And either team could have won that ball game. You know, it was a close enough ball game. It was a couple plays off here and there. And so we know there's a challenge ahead of us, and we know that Sam's a good football team, and hopefully that will benefit us tremendously.
Is there any concern about there kind of being a lack of rhythm when you guys are starting, since it would be 16 days since your last game?
I hope not. But I think I think that, you know, it's obviously is a concern to make sure we start doing that. But you know, it's game 13 for us, and you know, it's all about how we prepare this week in practice, and if we have a good week of preparation, and I don't think anything that's going to matter.
Well, from your experience with the Division II playoffs, what's kind of the secret to success as far as preparing and get your guys ready to play?
Well, you know, I think a lot of teams are banged up right now, so I think at the time it's really, you know, it's who's healthy, who's going to execute the best. I mean, it still don't matter. It's still a football game, you know. It don't matter if it's playoffs or not. It's about the team that's going to play the best at 7 o'clock on Saturday, and you got to execute. You can't have mental mistakes. You know, people are going to believe they're going to be at their best. You have to expect people to play a little faster, play a little sharper, make some plays maybe they didn't make last time, but they're going to make them this time. Big catches, big plays, big opportunities, and you know, it's a chance for you guys to really do the same thing, to step up and play the best football on the biggest stage that they've got. And this is the biggest stage we've had for Southeastern football, I guess, in 1961. You know, this is the biggest environment, the biggest stage we've been on. So it's a chance for us to really go out there and you know and play our best football.
Was there much of a difference the last time from what you saw on film from Sam Houston and then actually kind of seeing it on the field?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part.
That's from just from looking at a team on film to seeing them on the field. Was there much of a difference when you were facing Sam the first time?
No. I think there's when you watch the film, you see great players and speed, and you see them, physical and getting after it, and they totally open your eyes, and you got a lot of respect for them. I think anybody that wouldn't is a fool, and hasn't really watched the film. They're a great football team with great players and got a great scheme, and I think they got the whole package.
And in that first game, there were some things both teams did well, but were you able to find some things that you guys could correct on your end?
Yeah, there's plenty of room for corrections, and we'll have to do that. And there's missed plays, and there's missed opportunities, and that's what it's about, really. I don't know what wrinkles they're going to have for us or what they'll do different. I don't know. But we'll have to be able to make some adjustments in the game and be able to answer it. And the big thing is, the skill players, and Brian hurt us early, Bill hurt us early, with the option, hurt us scrambling. We can't do that again. We're going to have to do a better job with him because, he almost beat us single-handedly last time himself. And, we're going to have to do a much better job with him and containing him. And I don't know if you can stop him, but we've got to be able to limit him and at least make him earn his yardage and not have him the big plays. He pulled it out a couple times last time, and he had a couple 30-plus yard runs on us.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Other questions for Ron Roberts at Southeastern? Media, you may need to press *6 to unmute your phone line. Anything else for Ron Roberts? All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that will conclude today's call. We will continue to host this call as long as Southland Conference teams are playing. We know we will have one again next week because we're assured at least one team in the quarterfinals. Obviously hoping for 2, wish it could be 3. But best of luck to all of our teams this week. And we'll talk with everyone again next week sometime. I'll be sure to forward out the call information. Thank you.